Welcome to this channel. Here we are going to talk about the stories of our Holy Bible. And today's story will be about Jacob's struggle, so let's go. Jacob was continuing his journey when some of God's angels met him. When Jacob saw them, he said, "This is God's camp." So he named the place Mahanaim. Jacob sent messengers to the region of Seir, also called Edom, to meet Esau and give him this message: "I, Jacob, am at your command to serve you. All this time I lived with Laban. I have cattle, donkeys, sheep, goats, male and female slaves. I am sending this message to you, hoping it will be well received." The messengers returned and said, "We were with Esau, his brother. He's already coming to meet you. And he comes with 400 men." When Jacob heard this, he was very afraid and worried. So he divided the people who were with him, as well as the sheep, goats, cattle and camels into two groups. He thought that if Esau came and attacked one group, the other could escape. Then Jacob prayed this prayer: "Hear me, O Lord, God of my grandfather Abraham and Isaac, my father. You sent me back to my country and to my relatives, promising that everything would go well for me. I, your servant, do not deserve all the goodness and faithfulness with which you have treated me. When I crossed the Jordan River, I only had one stick, and now I'm coming back with these two groups of people and animals. O Lord, I ask you to save me from my brother Esau. I am afraid that he will come and kill me and the women and children. Remember that you promised that everything would go well for me and that my descendants would be like the sand on the beach, so many that no one could count." That night Jacob slept there. Then he chose some of his animals to give to Esau as a gift. He chose 200 female goats and 20 male goats, 200 ewes and 20 rams, 30 camels with their young that were still nursing, 40 cows and 10 bulls, and 20 female donkeys and 10 male donkeys. Jacob divided these animals into groups and put an employee to take care of each group. And he gave this order: "You go ahead, leaving a space between the groups." Jacob said to the first employee, "When my brother Esau meets you, he will ask, 'Who is your boss? Where are you going? And whose animals are you taking?' So he replied like this: 'These animals are your servant Jacob's. They are a gift he is sending to his master Esau. And he's coming back there too.' Also to the second, and to the third, and to all the others who took care of the groups, Jacob said, 'When you meet Esau, say the same thing. And don't forget to say this: your servant Jacob is coming back.' It's just that Jacob was thinking like this: I will calm Esau with the gifts that will go ahead of me. And when we meet, maybe he will forgive me." So Jacob sent the gifts ahead and spent that night in the camp. That same night Jacob got up and crossed the Jabbok River, taking his 2 wives, his 2 concubines, and his 11 children with him. After the people had passed away, Jacob caused all that was his to pass away, but he stayed behind, alone. Then came a man who wrestled with him until daybreak. When the man saw that he could not overcome, he struck Jacob's thigh joint so that it was out of place. Then the man said, "Let me go, it's already dawn." "I won't let go until you bless me," replied Jacob. Then the man asked, "What's your name?" "Jacob," he replied. Then the man said, "Your name will no longer be Jacob. You have wrestled with God and with men and won, therefore his name shall be Israel." "Now tell me your name," asked Jacob. The man replied, "Why do you want to know my name?" And there he blessed Jacob. Then Jacob said, "I have seen God face to face, but I am still alive." Therefore he named the place Peniel. The sun rose as Jacob was leaving Peniel, and he was limping because of the blow he had received in the thigh. To this day, the descendants of Israel do not eat the muscle that is in the thigh joint, because it was in that part of the body that he received the blow. When Jacob saw that Esau was coming with his 400 men, he divided his children into groups, who stayed with Leah, Rachel and the 2 female slaves. The female slaves and their children were in front, then Leah with her children, and finally Rachel and Joseph. Then Jacob passed by and stood in front. 7 times he knelt down with his face to the ground, until he came close to Esau. But Esau ran out to meet Jacob and embraced him. He put his arms around his neck and kissed him. And the two cried. When Esau looked around and saw the women and children, he asked. And what are those groups that I found along the way? Jacob replied. Through them I thought to gain your goodwill. Then Esau said. I already have enough, my brother, keep what's yours. But Jacob insisted. Don't refuse. If I deserve a favor from you, accept my gift. For me, seeing your face is like seeing the face of God, for you have received me so well. Please accept this gift I have brought for you. God has been good to me and has given me everything I need. And Jacob insisted until Esau accepted. Then Esau said. Well, let's go, I'll go ahead. Jacob replied. My master, you know that children are weak, and I have sheep and cows with young to think of. If forced to walk too fast, even for just one day, all the animals could die. It is better for my master to go ahead of his servant. I will follow slowly, at the pace of the animals and the children, until I reach Edom, where you live. Esau said. Then let some of my servants stay with you to accompany you. Jacob replied. No need. I just want to win my boss's friendship. That day Esau returned by the same route to the region of Edom. Jacob, in turn, went to Succos. There he built a house for himself and shelters for his livestock. Therefore they named the place Succos. So Jacob returned from Mesopotamia to Canaan. He arrived safely at the city of Shechem and pitched his camp nearby. For 100 bars of silver he bought land from the sons of Hamor, Shechem's father, and pitched his camp there. There he built an altar and named it El, the God of Israel. If you liked this video, don't forget to leave your like.